Libra, what's going on? It's your girl D here with 8th House Energy. I'm here to do your November 2020 Silent Enemies reading. I hope all is well in the Libra community. I do appreciate you stopping by, and whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for doing so. Make sure you hit that subscription button and the notification bell. That way you'll know when I post. I post weekly for all the signs, so if you're not seeing me show up in your rotation, make sure you unsubscribe, refresh your screen, and then resubscribe, okay? This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with every placement of Libra. So just take what does, leave the rest. Check out your other placements if you find that this one doesn't resonate as much. So Libra, it all started off with you, okay, with the super new moon in your sign during Libra season. This was the kickoff for the we're at the end stages now where we're dealing with all the emotions that are left over, the residual emotions, and wrapping those up in reference to the karmic connections that we've been ending over the last decade. Some of us, those relationships have gone on way too long. They were karmic connections, meaning that they were connections that were put into our life. The universe put these connections into our life to teach us lessons about ourselves. Once the lessons are learned, the connections end. Okay, but a lot of us have a problem ending those connections because we're looking at it from not a universal perspective, but a 3D perspective, meaning that some of us are thinking, oh, okay, well, we're married and we've been together 10 years, so you're supposed to be with me. When in reality, it just may have taken you 10 years to learn that karmic lesson, or there could have been multiple karmic lessons you needed to learn with this person. A hint that you're in a karmic connection is no matter what you try to do to fix it, it does not fix. It does not work. You can't fix it. Okay? That's when people start looking outside themselves. Like, okay, do I need to go to counseling? Do I need to go do this? Do I need to go, you know what I mean? Sometimes you do need counseling, but sometimes those things don't work because it is something that is not something you can wrap your head around in the 3D realm. This is something that's more universal. Okay, there's a lesson that needs to be learned. And 9 times out of 10, separation is what it is, now that the lessons have been learned. So with the Silent Enemies reading, you want to pay attention to the intuitive nudges you're feeling in reference to these karmic connections that have ended. If the karmic roll out or roll up of all of these energies is because we're going into a new energy in 2021. So we're wrapping up all the stuff that was over the last decade, okay? And we're dealing with all these super moons now because we had the super moon in Libra, which was the one that dealt with the karmic connections, bringing karmic connections to the close. If you need to find out more about that and understand what I'm saying, in my community tab, there is an area that talks about the new moon in Libra. If you look at that section, you'll see a link to an article that talks about how the new moon in Libra was the beginning of the end of wrapping up these karmic energies emotionally. Then we had the next super moon was the one in Scorpio season that came like approximately 2 weeks later. It was the new moon in Aries, right? Then we had another super moon approximately 2 weeks later on Halloween, which was the new super moon in Taurus. And then approximately 2 weeks later, which is today, the 14th that I'm filming this, we have the new moon in Scorpio. It was a full moon in Taurus. If I didn't say that correctly, I want to clarify. All right. And then we're going to have another week or two. We're going to have a lunar eclipse. So all of these lunar energies, which deal with the emotions and feelings, are putting us in a position to wrap up our emotions and feelings and to clear them out so we can get ready for the new level that we're going into in 2021. So we're pulling up 3 cards for you to see what intuitive energies you need to pay attention to get you through this, what we call this winter of healing, because this is what this is going to be for everybody. Okay, it's just affecting the signs differently. All right, and we're going to see what's going on with you. I've also attached at the end of this video the triple moon energy for the Libra energy, so that way you can take a look at that, get a little bit more information. So especially for those of you who are ascending and trying to understand your spiritual path, your spiritual journey, and trying to be the best person you can be, this is what the channel is about. So, if this is, somebody wants something lightweight or just wants some tea or whatever, this is not the channel for that. I do enjoy those types of channels as well, but I just don't, that's not what I do here. All right. I'm here for spiritual growth, spiritual ascension, to help you get through the pain so you can be the best person you can be and you can walk in purpose. Okay. Now, The Magician energy is major arcana energy. That's Gemini energy. That's Virgo energy. But overall, it's mercurial energy. Mercury. Okay? And when that's a major arcana, so we're going to get into that, but I want to tell you about the other cards here. We have the Queen of Cups energy. All right, look at that moon. Okay, I was just telling you about the moons, and you see how she's standing in all that water, standing in all that emotion with the cup. All right, that's Cancerian energy. Cancer rules the moon. Okay, but we're also getting into the Page of Swords energy. This is Libra energy. Okay, so this is observing things, watching what's going on, trying maybe to make sense of things, of what's going on in your world. But with this mercurial energy, this is all about, Mercury's in Libra right now. It's in your sign. But what we're in right now, literally, if you look at the date, I believe the Mercury was in, okay, so Mercury went in Libra first, all right, and it went in around the time that, what's her name? Ruth Bader, Justice Bader passed away, okay? That was when Mercury was in Libra, because that was communication about legal things, okay? Then Mercury went into Scorpio, all right? And then it was in retrograde in Scorpio. And it was in retrograde when the new moon in Taurus was going on the 31st. So it was in retrograde in Scorpio. And it was in retrograde till around November 4th. And then it went back into Libra. Now, when a planet leaves retrograde, okay, when it was in Mercury in Scorpio in retrograde, on November 4th is when it left. You always have a post-shadow period where those energies still linger. We are in the post-shadow period right now. We still have about 5 or 6 days left. Let me tell you, for me, being a Libra, Scorpio, ascendant, Leo, Scorpio, sun sign, which is I'm like 1 to 2 degrees Scorpio in my ascendant, 1 to 2 degrees Scorpio in my sun sign. I also have Mercury in Scorpio, and I have Venus in Scorpio. So the energies have been very potent for me the last 48 hours. Like I done left my credit card someplace. What happened? I had some computer issues. I had some appointments set on Thursday, and my appointments were canceled because there were some computer glitches with the hospital. I had 2 appointments in one day so that I could have them all done in one day. Both of them got canceled. Okay, and so the last 48 hours have been crazy for me with that Mercury and Scorpio and retrograde energy, even though we got 5 days left of the post-shadow period. So some of you could still be feeling this mercurial energy, whether it's the post-shadow period of Scorpio or whether it's where Mercury is now back in Libra going direct. So, you know, there's a lot of processing of information, a lot of processing of emotions and feelings, of karmic connections and relationships, because you rule the house of relationships. So you're looking right now at all of these relationships that you've been in, the feelings and emotions behind it, and you're processing this information right now. So the silent enemy, it's coming up as a silent enemy because you got to be careful with how you look at these things. You have to be careful with people coming towards you, you know, that you may have left behind, lying to you, not being honest with you about what their intentions are. You got a lot of people who are manipulating this energy right now because you were somebody who wants to relate. Okay, and so you may have been in relationships in the last 10 years. You may have cut a lot of them out, but the most intense ones that were going to teach you the most intense lessons you may have recently just got out of. So you're still fresh in that energy of not knowing how to feel, not knowing what to, you know, not knowing what to think, still focusing on this. And these people that have taken advantage of you, you've been around letting them do this for so long that they could be trying to come back and hold you back in any way possible with a trickster energy, a trickster spirit, which is what Mercury is all about with this magician energy. And they could be trying to come and use whatever tool they have in their shed, which is whether the sword, whether, you know, because they could lie to you if that'll work, they'll use that. If they could use emotion to try to pull on your heartstrings, they'll use that. If they could use the pentacle and the money to try to manipulate you with that, they'll use that. If they could use the passion because there's a strong passionate energy between you, they'll use that. They're going to pull whatever tool they have in their magician's tool shed out to bring you back in, to reel you back in under their control so they can continue playing tricks with you, okay, playing mind games with you. You need to be aware of these people coming back into your life, especially if you've cut them out with this Mercury and Scorpio and retrograde residual we're still in. So anybody who's come back into your life that you've cut off because the things did not work out, Do not take these people back. I tell people all the time, I mean, you can do what you want. You have free will. But I'm going to tell you like this. If somebody that you've cut out of your life has been treating you terribly and you cut them out, and it's all around this time where we got this karmic energy going on, where karmic connections are ending, 9 times out of 10, that person was in your life to teach you a lesson about yourself. Look back at the connection. Look at the red flags you've ignored. Look at the things you could have done differently. Learn from it. Leave these people be. They may want to come in and tell you, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry for how I treated you. Okay, closure, beautiful, thank you. That doesn't mean you have to accept them back in your life. You can accept the fact that they may have closure. Some of you don't even need to talk to these people. You don't even need to answer your door or your phone for them, because you're going to just fall right back in. I'm telling you, they're going to pull out the stops. It's very important you fight, Libra. Okay? You fight for the connection with you, how you relate to you, and fight the energy of these people who have been in your life taking advantage of you. You have got to let that old Libra go. Okay? The one who was, trying to be fair, trying to be impartial, always trying to consider everybody else's feelings, just giving someone space. Okay, let me give them space. And then reapproach the situation again. And then you get your ass kicked again. And then you get back up and you go through the cycle again. And this person keeps coming back in, and it's just, I feel like it's a residual cycle. I feel like for you to ascend, Libra, and to be your highest self, you have to understand when a relationship is over and when you can no longer relate, and that there are some people you should not be relating to. Period. Because you're not on the same frequency. Okay? You're not on the same frequency as you were when you first met these people. And so they're still on that frequency. So they're going to be trying to come back to you, trying to pull you back in with whatever they can. The pentacle, the cup, the sword, the wand, whatever they're going to use. They can use them in combination of two, because they want to pull you back in. A lot of people are dealing with the negative karma of their actions. Some of these people were very negative to you. And so you leaving them is putting them in a karmic situation where they're starting to reap the benefits, the negative benefits of the energy that they put out there. And so what they want to do is they want to try to grab at whatever control they had, so that they can take their frustration out on someone. And they want to do it to you, because a lot of times you're the one who's causing this frustration because you left them be. But you left them be because they weren't treating you right and doing you fairly. And are you supposed to feel bad? Don't relate to that. I know you can relate to, oh, well, damn, I would feel bad too if people were leaving my life. And, no, but look at what they were doing. Relate to that shit. What were they doing to get these people to leave them? What were they doing to these people to chase these people away? What did they do to you to chase you away? Okay? A lot of you have been through so much with the same people over and over and over again. The same people doing you dirty repeatedly, day after day, month after month, year after year. Like, you have to draw the line. And this is why this is showing up in the silent enemies reading. Okay? You have to use the discernment. Mercury's a trickster energy. Pay attention to what people are saying and doing, especially people you've cut off. Some of you have children with these people, so you still have to deal with them. Doesn't mean you need to give them the time of day. Talk about what you need to talk about with the children in the conversation. Don't talk about you. You got healing to do. You got the whole winter you got a healing to do. And don't worry, you'll get stronger. But you need to start exercising spiritual strength right now. It's going to be tough because we're all dealing with it. We're all still swirling in these emotions about the woulda, coulda, shoulda. And damn, why didn't it work out? I was really, I really wanted this. Or, we're all in those emotions. That's what all these lunar energies are about. It's helping us to get clear all through that. And with that lunar eclipse that's coming up in Sag season, that's going to help us to tie all of that up and throw it away as we move out of 2020 and into a brand new cycle for 2021. You cannot bring that stuff with you. You cannot. You have the Queen of Cups energy here. All right, this is Cancerian energy. That moon, like I was talking about, moon energy is heavy. Okay, so you're going to have people coming in wanting to, tell you how they feel about you, and, they realize they did you wrong. Like, I feel an energy here of you strongly having to stand your spiritual ground, stand your emotional ground, stand your logical ground, okay, stand your passionate ground with these people, because I'm telling you, they're all coming in, okay? They're all coming back in. They couldn't believe you cut them short, Libra. They couldn't believe you left them alone. They couldn't believe that you decided to let them leave. They thought that they would just leave and then they would come back when they're ready and you would let them in like you used to. This is where your spiritual strength comes in. Okay, because you don't want to bring this into the new season, the new energy that's coming in 2021. We're leaving everything from 2001 to 2020, or more specifically from 2015 to 2020. All that's gotta go. This is the whole purpose of the new moon and the karmic cycles ending in your sign, in your sign. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, it's going to be rough for a lot of you because you have to change the way you do things. You have to change the way you relate to people. Okay, use discretion now. Okay, well, let me see who this person is. Let me see what they're about. So some of you, they're going to be trying to come at you in a nurturing way. Some of you got issues with your mom, which is what puts you in positions where you were susceptible to a lot of narcissistic energies that you've been in relationships with over the past 5 years. So some of you need to deal with the issues with your parent, your mother, okay, and that energy. And it's coming up as a silent enemies reading because that energy is very toxic. So some of you need to go back, and when you're going through your winter of healing and you're dealing with all of these emotions and the energies, as far as the lunar energies, look at your connection with your mother or the nurturing figures in your family. And look at the relationship and the connection. For a lot of you, it's not a good connection. And this is why it's showing up in the silent enemy. Because that connection or that sordid relationship, some of you never had anybody who was very your parent might not have been nurturing enough for you. And so you're always in a situation where you're looking for love. Okay? So I call it the sucker for love syndrome. You grew up with an environment where you had narcissist parents. They weren't emotional. They may have provided for you. You may have never had a empty belly in your life. You may have never had a scuffed shoe in your life. You may have had all the clothes you need, a nicer place to live in, a nice environment you grew up in, went to good schools, all that. But your parent ain't never hugged your ass until you went to high school and graduated from high school so they can get you out of the house. That type of energy. They never were nourishing to you emotionally. So all your life you've been looking for love. So, you got people who with this trickster energy can see that in you. And they'll come and tell you, oh, I love you, baby. But yet they won't ever settle down with you and treat you with the respect that you deserve. And you were in that energy where you thought that was normal because that's what you grew up with. So you thought it was normal. Okay, well, people shit on me. Yeah, I feel it. It hurts. But okay, let me just move on because it's a new day. I got to get up. I still got to come home to this mother. I still got to come home to this house. So you've morphed your mind around just dealing and accepting it. And so as you've grown up and started dealing with people and connecting with people external to your family, you're giving off that vibration. And so you're attracting those same type of people in. This is why a lot of you, if you came from environments where you had narcissistic parents or parents who had emotional issues and couldn't give you the emotion you need, this is why a lot of you grew up and started getting into these types of relationships where you were still craving the emotional satisfaction that you needed. What you have to understand is that this starts within you. You have to separate yourself from all of that energy. It is difficult because on the universal level, this is the universe putting this person in your life to teach you a lesson. But on the 3D realm, it's like it's unheard of for you not to speak to your mother. It's unheard of for you to cut your mother off. It's unheard of. The emotions behind that is difficult. It is. And a lot of people are going through this shit right now. It's really, really a rough time for a lot of people. But you have to stop and think about you, what's best for you. You're too busy always trying to relate to everybody else. Stop relating to everybody else for the winter. Tell people you need a break. Tell them you're on sabbatical. You're on vacation. You're not taking any calls. If it's not an emergency about somebody in the hospital, someone sick, tell them to send it to you in an email or send it to you in a text. Tell your mother you need space. Tell whomever you need space. It's shown up in the silent enemy because this is what you need to do to protect your energy and your spirit. We got the Page of Swords energy here. This is your energy. This is you trying to figure out how to make things work for you. How to put plan in place so that you benefit, so that you're not still being susceptible to these types of energies. People coming in, taking advantage of your kindness, taking advantage of your weakness, throwing swords at you to try to get you, throwing passion at you to try to get you, throwing money, trying to lure you in, throwing emotion because they know that that's what you needed and they know the relationship between you and your family and you. So they're coming at you all sorts of ways. I feel like these are all related, but they're separate energies as well. So here, I feel like for a lot of you, this is self-help mode you're in right now. A lot of you are doing research. A lot of you are journaling. So that might be a good thing. Write down the things you've been through to help you process these energies. Get that out. Write down what you've experienced. Write down what you've been through. You can write a letter, to your parent or to your mother. For a lot of you, this is a mother figure. You can write a letter. Say what it is that you truly want. At night, in the full moon, you can burn it. You read it and burn it. So maybe there are things you can't say to them in person, but you can write it and talk to them on the universal level. And that's what that letter represents. So say what it is you got to say. Speak from your heart. Write it all out and read it and then burn it and send it to them. It'll get to their higher self, and that's a letter from your higher self going to them. All right, so hopefully that'll help to quell the connection between you all. Some of you can't continue to speak to this person for a while. You're going to need to back off until you get full control of your emotions. Probably until, and the holiday time is going to be rough for everybody right now. I'm just keeping it 100. Some of you may not be going to family functions. Some of you, if you go, it's a disaster waiting to happen. You have to look at your own situation and feel like, what's going on? Can you maintain your emotions here? But a lot of you are looking for self-help. You're looking on ways to do this. Okay, so journaling, like I said, writing affirmations and burning them to whoever it is that you're letting go of, the connections, the narcissistic type of connections that you were in. Writing a letter to your higher self, apologizing for the things that you've learned and the compromising that you've done to yourself by trying to keep these relationships intact when in turn in reality, they were no good for you. Okay, but look at what you learned. And all of this, look at what you learned about yourself. You learned that you are an amazing person. People want your energy. But what you learned is you have to put up the brakes. You have to put up the guard around yourself and allow only select people in. Because your energy is so magnificent, because it is so loving, because it is so open and about fairness and impartiality. You have to be careful who you let in and who you don't let in. So I feel like with the Page of Swords, you're realizing that as well. This is all about realizations here for you. And so if you don't come to these realizations, this is why it's showing up in the silent enemy. If you don't come to these realizations, you're going to get swallowed up by these wolves this winter. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the extended Libra. We're going to clarify all of these and get some more much needed information as to who you need to look out for specifically and why. All right. And then I attach at the end of here this video here that talks about the triple moon energy for you. Check that video out. Check out the divine masculine, divine feminine energy reading that I have, because that's going to help you to understand what's going on with everybody. Okay. But again, the focus is on you. You can relate to what other people are going through. Yes. But who's relating to what you're going through right now? Who of all these people that did you wrong are relating to what you've been through? Not near none of them, because they're too busy taking advantage of you and draining you of your fucking energy. All right? So the extended is in the box below. Feel free to join me. But if this resonated as is, Libra, let me know in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the extended, or I'll see you in the next reading. Love you, Libra.